Elder Lawyer, before we go into anything, let's go into, I want to talk about the delusion that's on the people first.
Yes, sir.
The delusion that's on the people. If you can, Elder Lawyer, let's get Matthew 12. And read 46.
Yes, sir. St. Matthew 12, verse number 46.
Yes.
While he yet talked to the people, behold, his mother and his brethren stood without, desiring to speak with him.
So here it is. Christ was prophesying, teaching the people. And while he was teaching, his family members came out, pressed upon the crowd that was there to hear Christ's words. Now, they weren't there before the crowd. See? They weren't there at the grassroots. They were there because what? The notoriety of Christ that came from the grassroots works. And now everybody is talking about this boy from Jerusalem who grew up into this great miracle worker. And now here comes family. Read.
47. Then one said unto him, behold, thy mother and thy brethren stand without, desiring to speak with thee. 48. But he answered and said unto him that told him, who is my mother, and who are my brethren?
Come on.
And he stretched forth his hand towards his disciples and said, behold, my mother and my brethren. 50. For whosoever shall do the will of my Father which is in heaven, the same is my mother, or the same is my brother, and sister, and mother.
We have to get out of this thing of believing that we can get our family members to understand exactly what's going on, only to be what? Only to be responded upon with vitriol. The more we try to help them and wake them up, the more what? The more they begin to show some level of dissension or hatred against us. So sometimes you have to let people be. And this also applies to people you grew up with. Because unfortunately, they'll always see you as that individual they knew growing up before the Most High called you to understand. It doesn't matter that the Most High have taken you on a journey, open your eyes to actually help your loved ones. They'll never see you like that. They'll always see you as that person that grew up and, you know, that they didn't respect past who they knew. Because what? Generally, people are carnal. Okay? And they can't believe that the Most High could take someone from nowhere that they knew and exalt them with power to lead God's people. Okay? They'll always look at you weird, like, are you another person or whatever the case is? But they'll never recognize it's the Most High in you that's trying to help them. And that's why Christ stated, well, listen, understand my family is the family you see here working with me. Because my Father have called us into one family. So just because, let me tell you, people of blood and all that, and you grew up, sometimes that can be a stumbling block to them to understand you, because they know all your faults growing up. See, they knew you before the Most High called you and can't see past that. So learn how to do what? State what the Most High have you to say, and after the second or third admonition, shake off the dust of your feet. You plant a seed, let them be. Don't argue with them. Don't go back and forth with them, because why? There's a dark veil over their eyes. And usually what has to happen for a person, like it happens to all of us, they have to be brought low. Where so that they can see the Most High as we seen him in our low estate. And some people aren't ready to receive that that part of the transformation. So you plant a seed, don't fight back and forth with them. I'm sitting there speaking to a person, and listen, this woman is a Hindu from someplace else, lying about her family, a straight liar that they've given to us. And we have this Messiah complex to worship everyone they put before us, even if these people are antichrist. I'm not fighting with the people I used to know anymore. I'm going to warn them and shake the dust of my feet. These people have stomped us into the ground, and we're still operating in hope that they're going to actually do right by us. Matthew, since we're in Matthew, Elder.
Yes, sir.
Let's go to Matthew 12. Matthew 10, excuse me. We're in Matthew 12. Matthew 10 and 34. And write these down, brothers and sisters. Write these down, all right? This is Christ. Let's read.
Yes, sir. St. Matthew 10 and 34. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword.
And this is Christ speaking to us. Why? When you receive some good news and revelation from the Most High that you know only could have come from him, you seek to spread the word. You seek to have them see what the Most High has opened your eyes to see. But it doesn't work like that. He says, don't you know that I'm not coming for peace? Look around. In order for my people to rise, war must impend on earth. And that's on every level. So what we're witnessing all over the earth, wars and rumors of wars, is not just on the grand level of nuclear war. The war will even be in your own home. Your loved ones. Those you thought understood you. Read.
35. For I came to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law.
Now I need y'all to understand that Satanists and atheists would try to twist this. What type of Christ would cause division? Well, the division comes when what? When one walk away from the moral upbringing they received in their home. A division happens when you teach your child about God in Christ, and they'll knock on your door one day and say, I have something to drop on you. Okay. Your son knocks on the door and says, oh, by the way, mama, I need to tell you that I'm in transition right now. I was non-binary, but now I've decided to become female. Okay. So that's when the sword comes. Boom. See? Mm-hmm. You train up your child correctly, but they went out and chose Satan. They chose to make themselves a demonic idol. So now Christ brings a separation. So when it says, I'm separating you, that's what it's talking about. He's not causing the division. The division is happening because the majority of the people in the earth who once believed in him are choosing another God. And keep in mind, there's only two powers or forces to be served on this earth: good and or evil. Come on.
36. And a man's foes shall be they of his own household.
A man's foes shall be those of his own household. Like if you have people with common sense and logical thinking, they're not going to have some vermin like Fauci come out and say, yeah, you got to mask up and lock yourself in the house. And you will sit there and listen to this mess. And now, where there was no issues because you have a person who believes in Christ who's logical and thinking that, hold up, this is all crazy. I have faith in Christ. They're trying to scare us. You have a logical person saying, I'm not going for what they're saying on the television. And now your family members have now become your enemies. Don't come in his house because you could be tracking the virus up in here. Out of their minds. Anything the news report, they carry Satan's water and begin an infighting against their own family members. That means they love those that are sending the signal, the Satanists, and trust them more than God and the family they are now have turned against. Out of their minds. And see, that's why the Most High says a man's foe shall be there of his own household. Certain events, when things go wrong and there's certain issues in the earth, that's when you know who you're actually locked up in the house with. Okay? That's when you know, like, hold up. In an emergency, I don't know if I want to be around this person. But they're going to panic every time the media tells them something. Are you getting your signal from the media or are you getting your signal from God? A man's enemy shall be they of their own household. You know why? Because you start talking about what's right and saying, well, you shouldn't want to kill your children at birth and call it reproductive freedom. You shouldn't want to, if you are a Christian, you shouldn't be seeking to vote for a Hindu who's a pagan worshiping many gods, married to the synagogue of Satan. You shouldn't be seeking to vote for Mrs. Imhoff, who don't even, and her husband don't even believe in Christ. She don't believe in Christ. And a man's foes shall be they of his own household. You know how much infighting is going on in our neighborhoods right now just because people are waking up and stating, you know what? I'm not going for this Democrat Party line anymore.